No one would hang out with Aquaman.
He's got sharks.
1, 2, 3, 4!
Welcome to Cog Talk, a podcast brought to you by Cogstop Productions, home of podcasts, tabletop, and geek talk. 12 Years Hollow, the Cog Talk theme, is written and performed by Bear Ghost. To listen to this track and more, check out www.facebook.com/BearGhostTheText. Hi, thank you for tuning in to Cog Talk, a Cogstop Productions podcast. My name is Patrick Tracy. Here with me today is
Joshua Haynes.
And Scott Newbill.
and we are recording from Atlantis.
No, your garage sale.
I don't care. The mind's eye. We are in Atlantis today, kicking it with Aquaman.
What? No, no,
No,
no one would hang out with Aquaman.
He's got sharks.
Great.
I'd hang out with Aquaman.
No.
You kidding me? Why not?
If he was the only super you could hang out with, I guess just say you've hung out with a superhero. Sure. But if you have options, Aquaman's not even on the list.
Aquaman's always on the list.
Even if there's only one other super. I don't care if it's arm fall off boy.
No, Aquaman's on the list. So, sorry for the side chat. Anyways, what we are as a podcast is this is just a normal talk format podcast. We here at Cogstop Productions want to be one of the kind of homegrown products of the internet, I guess you can say. We want to show you how we're starting off. We want to start from bare basics. Right now we're sitting here on 3 USB mics, which shouldn't happen with a computer. We're making it happen. And we want you guys to be able to see us as we grow and progress as a podcast and as a company. We hope to bring you some more awesome podcasts in the future. I know that we have a Dungeons & Dragons podcast.
Yes, Dungeons & Dragons podcast is named Almost Heroic, wherein actually the three of us are each DMing a different session, and every other week we have two of the DMs switch back and forth between their campaigns.
Because creativity's hard. And then we also have another podcast in the working called, ironically enough, Pods, which is kind of an improv skit comedy about supervillains in jail and the psychologist that has to deal with them, because that's awful. I know that we had mentioned that there's three of us here. We do have a fourth man on the team. His name is Aaron Passion. Unfortunately, he passed away from us early March, and this is kind of us continuing the dream that he had. He was a co-founder of Cogstop Productions, and in his passing, we want to make sure that we're doing this the best that we can in memory and in honor of him. So, here's to you, big guy.
Go punch it.
Yes, he was definitely an imposing figure. And I Punch It was definitely one of his catchphrases thanks to Borderlands. So, Gearbox, we worship you.
Hell, Gearbox. Hell, Gearbox.
I totally would hail Gearbox. Like, I would drink whatever Kool-Aid Gearbox put out. If Gearbox was Charles Manson, then
Kool-Aid?
I'm going to fucking jail.
I want Kool-Aid.
If you can't tell, Scott may be of a certain origin.
I would
It is
burn
of
you
the
guys.
brick wall format. Kool-Aid Man bursts through and goes, "Oh yeah."
I would burn you guys in the Marcus altar. You know, so he give me guns.
Yeah.
Marcus Gunbringer.
Marcus never gave you good guns. I'm sorry.
No, it was always crap.
But it works because of his shady salesman side. So it's like, hey, thanks for burning your friends alive. Here's a 2-shot shotgun. Enjoy.
Oh, you're a sniper? Oh, well.
Hey, that sucks for you. So I know that we had a conversation that was quite humorous off the air. Josh, I want you to tell us what the topic of that conversation was. I don't know the way that your mind works. Sometimes just go for it.
The topic is things you can't do, but you believe the rest of humanity has no problem.
So I know that earlier my biggest example of this, and it might just be the fat guy in me, and by fat guy in me I mean fat guy on the outside of me, because I'm beautiful on the inside, is I have to hold my breath to tie my shoes.
It's not right.
And that is downright embarrassing to say. I will say that it's not like every shoe tying position. It is more so when you're sitting on like a low, I don't even say like bench, but like a surface area, like your bed. And you have to do that stoop down and reach your shoes. Like I'm not sure if this influences at all, but I'm a tall guy. Additionally, I think that I do instinctively. And I think that would be fucked in airplanes. Because as soon as I put my head between my knees, I instinctively hold my breath.
That's just don't fly. You should not be flying.
Preparing for the worst.
Of course I should not be flying. I'm not a pilot.
Now, would you like to know something that might help you in this, holding your breath while tying your shoes? Don't untie your shoes. I got the shoes that I'm wearing 3 years ago, tied them once. Never untied them.
That's just plain lazy.
But
I don't have to hold my breath.
what if you forget how to tie your shoes?
Well, then I don't need to tie my shoes because they're already tied.
What happens when you get new shoes?
I'll have my wife tie them for me.
That's a weird list of honeydews.
Tie my shoes. Do my laundry.
All right, well since we know that you can't tie your shoes, and that's probably something that normal people can do, what else do you got for us, Scott?
I've got a pretty embarrassing one as well. I can't grow both sideburns.
Is true, and it's not a. I've already tried to diagnose it. It's not a headset problem. Like, this is me just being a gamer going like, oh, maybe you have a headset that is, like stunting hair growth, but you wear your headset on the opposite side of it. So maybe it's the headset that is growing your sideburn.
No, because it's not that I only wear it on the left side. I switch back and forth. So it's definitely not the headset. Not to mention it goes above where the headset lies.
I think it's just your said wife.
Oh, that's definitely stress. Before I met
Is
my
that where
wife,
the aneurysm's growing in your head?
Oh, yeah. Before I met my wife, I had a full head of hair.
He was Fabio.
It was glorious. If I wanted to, I could grow an afro. If I wanted to, I could slick it back. I could
Why is
braid
the
it.
afro the first thing that comes up for you, Scott?
Because when I was in 7th grade, I had an afro.
Oh my god, that's adorable.
Yeah. And then it was about 2 months after we met, I woke up one day and my sideburn was gone. It's like, and thinking back on it, I can clearly remember seeing it fade. But I was also constantly getting my hair cut, every 2 weeks or so, just keeping it trimmed and clean. And then one day it was just gone. And I was like, well, maybe it was just a haircut. And 6 months later, it never grew back. And now I'm
Sad
losing.
story for the sideburn.
Yeah, and now I'm losing the hair on the top of my
I
head.
love
too.
that 6 months is the time you're like, yep, gone forever.
Yeah, like no return.
Not week 3.
I was giving it time.
Mine would have
My
been
hair
like
can be
day
stubborn.
5. Day 5 would have been like, fuck it, I don't have sideburns anymore.
So yeah, I've gotten to the point that I'm just gonna shave my head. But
Now
that's
that you
a
mentioned it, I
lot
can
of
see
work.
it so well now. Like, I'm
Oh,
actually
yeah.
looking straight at it. I can't stop.
Ever since it's been discussed, I don't look you in the eyes anymore.
Until it's pointed out, a lot of people don't notice it, unless I'm sitting with my right side towards them. Because that's what happened to my brother. He was like, "What the hell happened to your head?" And I explained the story to him.
Not tumor.
No, it might be a tumor. Like, it might seriously be a tumor. You want to check your head out. Okay, Josh, we've shared ours. What's yours? And then, God damn it, if you leave us high and dry on this for our first recording, I will kick your ass.
Try as I might, much like his not being able to grow sideburn, I grow facial hair much like Joe Dirt.
It's true, and not to point you out on the air because everyone can see you right now.
Yeah.
But there's a clear distinction between your left mustache and your right mustache.
There is.
It's a bit weird.
It is. There's nothing I can do.
But the benefit of that is like, unlike the sideburn, like you can just grow facial hair in the areas that you want the facial hair to grow. Like you can not shave certain areas, and it's like I never have to shave that.
Yeah, I guess, but occasionally one hair will try and, change that.
It's like the lone rebel hair. It's like it's doing like the Logan's run of all hair. Like I'm free. I don't want to go.
And I'll suddenly notice it, but it's like an inch long. But before that, it's nowhere to be seen.
Just because I picked it up on the audio, I want to mention that yes, we are smoking a hookah. That is the bubbling that you might be hearing in the background. For those that also smoke hookah, we are smoking Starbuzz Simply Mint. It is simply delicious. I just had to address it. I just heard it in the background for a little bit, and I'm patiently waiting my turn.
I just got it.
You just had it.
I still want it.
So stingy.
So, another segment that we're looking to do, because I'm going to let them peer into the fourth wall of Atlantis.
Not Atlantis. The
Atlantis.
fourth wall is a garage door.
The fourth
Then,
wall.
then how do you explain the orca that just swam by the window?
There is no orca.
I saw it.
Mind's eye. It was holding my favorite beverage. And your favorite beverage, viewer, listener. You're a listener.
Person who downloaded this.
So, since you're listening to this on the internet, I'm sure that you are all aware, as we are, that the internet brings light to the weirdest shit that you've ever seen in your life.
Understatement of the century.
Understatement of the century. And I'm not even talking about the weird things that you do with the safe filter off. I'm talking about weird shit in general. And I think that I found 3 of the weirdest things on the internet for today.
All right, let's hear them.
So, Scott, I know that you are actually a member of the Department of Zombie Defense.
I am, yes.
I said that correctly. Yes, I never thought I would get that in a million years correctly.
Department of Zombie Defense? How was that hard to say?
I don't know why. I feel like I would mess it up and be like Department of Defense Zombies. Zombies meant for
There's another
defensive.
thing you can't do that the rest of humanity can.
Say things correctly. Podcast was an excellent format to choose. Thank you, everyone. Good night. So you guys must be a fan then, kind of zombies. Well, I guess that would be kind of weird because you guys are kind of training to kill zombies, but you're kind of into the zombie world, like the zombie fandom. Well, Philadelphia's Dock Street Brewing Company has just announced the Dock Street Water. It is a 7.2% American Pale Ale Stout brewed with goat brains. It's one of the first beers that I've heard of personally that has brains in it. It's a Walking Dead themed beer.
I know people eat goat brains.
But drink?
Well, it's fermented.
Yep, I found this on Geekology.com. It says that the beer was crafted to celebrate the 4th season finale of The Walking Dead and will only be available in the brewery starting March 30th, although you can buy growlers to go.
Can you order it? Like, have it shipped? Could I order it here in Arizona and have it shipped to me?
Here's the weird thing. Technically, you can't ship alcohol. Oh, actually, no. You can ship alcohol. There is a sneaky way of doing it. I have not done this myself, but when I was up in Wisconsin, I asked a guy if he can send a thing of, I believe it was Spotted Cow, back to me in Arizona. The only way that you can get alcohol shipped to you is if it's for academic study.
No, I can do that. The Department of Zombie Defense.
Yes. So, like, if you are doing, like, I don't want to say a documentary, but, like, an essay on different beers around the U.S., you could get it shipped to you if you have that reasonable, legitimate reason. But, like, me as a beer drinker can't send you as another beer drinker a beer from Arizona because of all the different laws that go along with it. I forget. There's a very specific reason to send the beer.
How does distribution even work then?
Well, you can ship it, like, as a company, but, like, me as a consumer cannot ship it to another consumer.
Okay, but then
So could
you?
the company ship it to me?
I think the company would have to ship it to a store and then give it to you and, like, sell it to you. I think it has to do something with the taxes on it. I don't remember.
That's weird.
So it says that to give the beer a subtle, smoky flavor, Dock Street chose smoked goat brains and cranberries to mix with the tartness and give the beer a bloody red hue.
Oh,
I'm sorry, but, like, I may be the most vanilla person when it comes to food. Like, if it has a weird texture, I won't eat it. I could not bring myself to drink a beer with goat brains.
What if I tricked you into it, you liked it, and then told you afterwards what it was? Ow.
If I liked it afterwards, I think I would be more okay with it, but I could not, like, go, like, oh, this
Knowingly.
beer has brains in it.
I'd be
Chug, chug,
furious.
chug, chug, chug.
It's like the people that you have to trick into eating Rocky Mountain oysters.
Oh no.
Yeah, but I'm not sure, like, if anyone who's...
They're delicious.
Really?
Oh yeah, I've had them.
Oh, that is so weird. Sorry. So, yeah.
Balls.
That is by far one of the weirdest beverages. Also, on Dude, I Want That, because I love that website. And it's a great site to check out if you ever want to purchase just some of the weirdest, coolest things. They bring you right to the Amazon page or wherever. They bring you to wherever you want to go or need to go to buy these items. I have some household decor that I think that every man, at least as a bachelor, needs. And what that guide is how to pee with morning wood.
Is that a book?
It is, from what I can see, you can get, it's a poster, and you can get it anywhere from 4 inches to 24 inches to 10 inches by 60 inches. And it just has some of the weirdest positions that you can pee with morning wood. So, like, one of my personal favorites are the blow dryer. Go ahead and check it out. It's on dudeiwantthat.com. How to pee with morning wood. The blow dryer has a man standing up straight and urinating. And, you know, I'm not sure that... Why should I say I'm not sure? Everyone's experienced morning wood at this table.
Maybe.
Yes.
Is this one of these things that people do that you don't?
Oh.
And if you've ever had to piss with morning wood, it is difficult because you don't have the same range of motion. The blow dryer has him peeing in a straight line and using the blow dryer to redirect the stream down into the toilet bowl.
I see that being a mess.
Well, there's some other ones that are more of a mess too. Like one literally has a guy doing a handstand, which seems like a feasible reason until you get to the end. Because we all know that that stream is not as powerful in the end as it is in the beginning. So you would wind up with piss on your chin.
Some people like that.
Some people do. Going back to looking with the safe filter off, I'm not going to do that yet. I don't know. I might get desperate for material and do that at a later time.
As I'm looking at this, my personal favorite is the Superman.
Yes, the Superman is brilliant. It is also lazy. So Scott,
Wait, hold on. I want to try to guess this one.
yes, because me and Josh here are looking at the picture right now. He can see my laptop. Scott, unfortunately, has a back of the laptop. I want to see what Scott's visualizing when you say Superman.
Now, when I hear the Superman and thinking about how a majority of bathrooms are set up, I'm seeing someone with either their hands or feet on the counter where the sink is, and then the opposite of which on the bathtub or on the faucet for the bathtub, something like that, and they're peeing straight down into the toilet.
You are close. This man, right now in this diagram, is laying across the toilet seat, which is already a dangerous area. He's laying at it at like a 90-degree angle. So if this is the toilet seat, like facing the wall, he's laying across from it, so that way he's looking to the left with his junk inside the toilet bowl and arms straight out.
He has a cape, by the
For effect, he has a cape. Because I know that the first thing that I do when I get morning wood in the morning, I have to pee, I go, where's my cape?
Really? You don't?
Well, I do, but my cape's, like green. Like I don't know, I'm unique.
I'm sorry. Now I'm just trying to imagine Superman mid-flight having to go to the bathroom. And he's just sitting there like, well, I don't feel like landing, so...
that would be-
30,000 feet in the fucking air. Why do I need to land a piss?
Well, no. Could you imagine that in like a movie spoof of Superman where he's pissing so high up that his piss freezes and like hits a fucking car or something?
Dead people. Dead people.
That would be hilarious.
Oh my god. I'm glad that we actually got on the topic of Superman in general, because on Amazon.com I found something that I'm scared to even really mention. It was put up November 5th, so this might be old news to some people. This is new news to me. There is an official DC superhero cookbook. So not only are they trying to corner like the television market and like get all the TV shows, because Marvel's, I hate to say it, but blowing them out of the water with
yeah.
movies, they are going to corner the cookbook market too. These things have tasty recipes inspired by beloved DC characters such as Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, The Flash, Green Arrow, Aquaman, and Wonder Woman. Funny fact that they actually put Aquaman before Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
it was
that's weird.
all the guys and a woman. Like that's very vaguely, like very kind of like a thin veil of sexism right there in my mind.
Well, it's either that or you put her at the front of the line.
Which would be worse?
Cook like Wonder Woman.
Oh no, but no. I didn't even think of it that way. Because in my mind, I was going big three: Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. Because I play DC Online, and that's
Yeah.
like the three mentors that you get. So, anyways, yeah. But some of the names of these are like greatly like how should I put it? They're great puns. Like we have one that's called the Up and Away Parfait, which in my mind is like, well done, great pun. And then I don't think that they could really think of anything for some of these other superheroes, because I see that other one is the Green Arrow fruit kebabs.
Yeah, that would be a hard one to come up with.
Yeah, like I can think of like punching glove cake, but I don't know. I don't know what else to come up with a Green Arrow for stuff like that.
Actually, because Green Arrow's arrows are all trick arrows. So the trick shot kebab.
I thought Hawkeye was trick arrows.
Both of them use trick arrows.
Anyone who uses arrows as a superhero, air quotes,
They're less
uses
lethal.
trick arrows.
They're
In your
less
face,
lethal
Katniss.
weaponry, so.
No, she just straight up kills people with arrows.
Well, not too much in the most recent one.
No.
Was that Catching Fire? No.
Yeah, the other two examples that I have on here, I don't know what a Martian Manhunter malted is.
Milk ball?
I think
Yeah.
that it might be a milk ball
Some
or
kind
like
of a milkshake?
yeah, but it's just the Martian Manhunter malted. So alliteration, good for you. The last one that I see is holy guacamole. I don't think DC can claim that.
No, that's actually a brand of guacamole.
Is it a brand of guacamole now? Like,
Yeah.
please.
Wait, hold on. Who is that for?
I don't really know, because it's
Dr.
a
Fate?
holy guacamole. I'm picturing maybe like Batman, because it's like Robin saying like holy guacamole Batman.
Okay.
But oh dear, like sorry, just to pair off, they actually have a holy guacamole brand guacamole.
Yeah. It's not in the sense of, spirit of it's
It's kind of the more pun,
yeah,
like
it's the exclamation.
okay.
Are you kidding me? I was at Walmart the other day and I found Bumblebee tuna.
Hey, Bumblebee tuna is delicious.
It's been there forever.
I'm just saying. The
Don't-
first time I ever heard of Bumblebee tuna was Ace Ventura.
Great movie. Sorry, I'm just clicking out of this now because we don't know how to segue. Speaking to segues, Scott, you had something to say.
Yeah, I tried to segue with the whole Superman movie spoof thing. That didn't work. So I have a question for you guys. I want to know which superhero who doesn't already have their own movie would you like to see get their own movie. Now I'm taking out the Justice League because they're all getting ready to have their own movies.
Okay, so you're talking about someone that, just to clarify, they don't have a movie yet, kind of like an unsung hero, like, I'm not going to choose it myself, but like Moon Knight.
Specifically live action? Or...
Yes, live action,
Okay.
as the way that Marvel and DC have been going these days.
Okay, so your big guys are out right away, like Spider-Man,
Already has a
Wolverine,
movie. Already has a
X-Men,
movie, yeah.
yep, Superman, Batman.
But Wonder Woman is, I also want to take out, and The Flash, because they're going into the new Batman versus Superman movie.
Yeah, so anyone that's not played a part in a movie yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they don't have to be, the lower level, like Booster Gold or something. But
just someone that you feel that deserves
their
a
own
movie.
movie.
So even if they are a lower level one.
yeah.
Okay.
So who do you guys who would you like to see have their own movie?
Doctor Strange.
Oh, Doctor Strange would be amazing.
For one reason for me, because the way they address magic right now, thanks to Thor, is science we don't understand yet. Whereas Doctor Strange is magic. It's magic that's actually magic.
Did you know that Marvel is actually going to make a Doctor Strange movie?
No, and I am thankful.
It's a Phase 4 movie, I believe, is how they announced it's going to be, because with the combination of the Avengers 2 and Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they're actually introducing magic. It's the Age of Miracles is what they're calling it. Which apparently Age seems to be a really popular title these days.
Well, it's age because if you think about the way that the comics were done before, you had like the Silver Age
Yeah, I know.
and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a terminology that's been with the comic industry for a while.
I'm saying movies in general, because obviously you have Age of Ultron, the Transformers, Age of Extinction. Like, age just seems to be...
The big word for this
Yeah.
time of year.
Gotcha. Okay, now I see.
I
Yeah,
even
it's the
think...
theme word for movies of...
It's the new click oh, we can't see time of destruction. It's like the age of
Yeah,
destruction.
I think even the next Planet of the Apes movie is Age of the Planet of the Apes. They're doing another one.
Planet of the Apes, Age of the Chimps?
Age of the Apes. I don't know. I tried. I can't make any Planet of the Apes movie good for me. I have never understood the movies myself. I think it's because I got the wrong one first.
Which one did you get?
Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, okay.
If you see the originals, they actually play out a loop in time, which is really neat to watch. But all the reboots...
Rise of the Planet of the Apes, I think, was awesome. It was a great prequel.
I think it was visually, and it wasn't as confusing as the original reboot.
No.
Monkey Lincoln! No!
Yeah, I got the Mark Wahlberg version, which I love Marky Mark to death. He's one of my main actors. That's yeah, Mark Wahlberg's in this movie. But the only Planet of the Apes knowledge that I had before that was when The Simpsons did the Dr. Zaius song.
Yeah.
So I came in completely kind of skewed. I didn't really understand it, and then I watched the remake and was like, oh, that was neat.
No.
Without ever seeing the original.
No. The original 3 tell a story throughout, and they even had a show. It was actually fun to watch. One, because it's the bad, Star Trek kind of fighting.
Oh, God. So, well, that's classic. Right punch into somersault. Kind of the late reaction over dramatic. Oh, I love those things so much.
At least for the show, that's how that fighting was. In, the second movie, they deal with a cult of humans who worship a nuke.
That sounds familiar. I'm sure
so.
that they did it first, but I totally have the Fallout,
Yeah.
Brotherhood of the...
That
what is that called?
is
Brotherhood
Cult
of
of
the
the
Light?
Atom.
Cult of the Atom, that's right.
But,
Poor town that I nuked every single playthrough.
Oh, yeah.
Every single playthrough. I'm sorry, I set that bomb off. I'm an evil person. So, my movie that I would do personally, I'm kind of torn. I don't have a good one right now because they've actually hit all the heroes that I grew up with. Gambit was in a movie already. That was one of my main guys. Punisher. I always kind of like the Dark Horse heroes. I I guess that someone who hasn't had a movie yet that I would love to see get a movie would be Blue Beetle.
Yes.
And
I want to know more because I only know a little bit.
exactly, he's someone that doesn't get a whole lot of exposure. Like, if you guys have ever seen the Young Justice cartoon series, he kind of gets a important plot in the story. But it's kind of like, if you did that, you could easily take the Spider-Man formula of like, oh, we're in high school and you got that superpower that you need to hide kind of thing. But this thing just being more like the symbiote and having kind of a mind of its own sometimes is just like a great thing. And let's face it, alien tech armor is awesome.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know if you remember these old movies that got rehashed over into America. It's Guyver. It was basically an alien armor to fight an invasion that was repurposed by humanity when they found it. And then some random ass dude gets it. Because that's how it works. Basically, you wear it for the... Thanks to Japan, wrist morphers or whatever you want to call it.
Is it morphing time?
Yeah, without the trademarked words.
Oh. It's morphing age. The age of morphing.
And it's kind of when you put it on, it kind of becomes like bug-esque, and it actually, from what I remember, looks like it pierces the skin versus goes on top. And so super strength, you get some
Typical
basic
hero
HUD.
bullshit.
Yeah, basic space armor, alien armor.
Basic space armor. Like, we know. Like, basic sci-fi space armor. Like, it's not the shit that we're sending guys up there with. Like, in case you have to fight aliens, we've got a heads-up display for you in your helmet and ray guns. Ronald Ray guns.
I would love to have a HUD for real life.
I had to do it as soon as I said it that
That
way.
was a good one.
What about you, Scott? You brought it up.
I've actually thought about mine very, very much, and even though they have a TV show, I would want to see a Green Arrow movie.
See, now, do you go with the TV show kind of like dark and gritty Green Arrow? Or do you go with, I've got a punching glove arrow, Green Arrow?
I would obviously want to see first the origins, which would be the dark gritty, and then he doesn't really get a little more upbeat and punch arrows until he joins the Justice League. That's when he really gets his major trick arrows, like the punching glove and the net, things like that.
Do you think like Batman had to sit him down like, okay, yeah, I know you've got arrows, but hear me out.
Oh, I
What
think
if
that would be
we had-
hilarious.
As far as I know,
What if we put a bat glove at the end of that?
It's Bruce Wayne and Oliver Queen. They know who
they know who each
Bruce
other are.
Bruce Wayne knows who Green Arrow is. Oliver Queen, he's not as smart, so he may not know.
But they're competitive as all hell from what I've ever seen. Massive competition between
Yeah, but that's
because
minor.
they're rich.
That's minor league in the Justice League, where it's like, well, I throw batarangs, well, I throw arrows, and like Superman comes by and like throws his super dick on the table. It's like, this shoots lasers too. And then they just kind of go and play with money.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's like
Enjoy your day job.
exactly. That's Bush League compared to like the other superheroes. It's like, what do you do? I'm an Amazon warrior princess kind of thing. What do you do? I'm a Superman. I literally just am super. I do everything. What do you do? I'm a Martian. I'm intangible, and I can get into your mind. What do? I shoot arrows. Flip. But I feel oh man, that's just such a weird lineup.
You know, it'd be hilarious though. It's like you get that little, I throw batarangs, I shoot arrows. Superman comes over, I do everything, and then Captain Marvel walks over. You know what? Screw you guys. I'm going home to my parents.
I want to throw this out there. His adoptive parents.
He still has parents.
So DC and Disney kind of follow the same plot line, that of dead parents.
Yes.
Oh man.
I don't know why Marvel let them buy him out because DC Disney would have been a better like natural merger.
Yeah. You have dead parents, so do we. Oh man, that's just throwing a whole nother light in. It's like, what, you saw your parents get shot? So did Batman. He came out better than you did.
Fucking deer.
Oh god. All right, well I think that's a good time for a little bit of a segue. Do you want to sponsor us? This is where your advertisement can go. Listen to this wonderful voice. Picture it giving the praise of your company, giving it to your product, your website, your service. If you want to be a sponsor of Cogstop, please email us at cogstopproductions@gmail.com. Or you can hit us up on Facebook at Cogstop Productions or on Twitter /Cogstop. Scott was giving me a signal that I do not understand. He was
No,
making
I was
the...
crushing your head between my fingers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's great, because we're doing hand signs to try and help us out here, and you're doing the squishy face, squishy face, squishy face. So, yeah, that definitely pans out into the audio format.
You're doing a sponsor read. Well, I've got to entertain myself somehow.
Ah, fuck you.
I'm sure you don't want...
Please stop doing that. So, anyways, yes, please be a sponsor of us. So Scott can harass me during your campaign, your advertisement, and that would just be wonderful because I'm sure that you want to do that now. So,
We'd always make it fun.
you know, earlier when we talked about this, I couldn't think of one. I think I might have one. You were talking about some dark shit, Josh.
My mind goes to strange places, and I just travel along for the ride. I was sitting in my car driving, and I was thinking, if I had a wife and she cheated on me, what would I do to get revenge that is actually within the law?
For the record, I like how you jumped ahead so far in your relationship, because I know that you're dating a wonderful girl right now.
Yes, I am.
You have been for years. And it's like, what if I got married? That would be nice. But what if that bitch cheated?
Wait, no, hold on. Within the
Like,
law?
you've already ruined your imaginary marriage.
Oh, it's totally not my fault. Hers. She cheated.
Of course. Because you're flawless. Like your facial hair. Call back.
Yeah, and so when I did it, I ran through the scenario in my head, and I thought about it, and I'm like, I guess as of now, because I'm a big fan of the idea of prenups. You know, the nice little contract in case it fails, or you've rushed into it, or whatever. It's good to have an established way to divide things at the end, because divorces can be hell. Well, I thought about including a clause that makes it so I get back the engagement ring as well as the wedding ring, because then I will then let her know after I've reclaimed these items that I will be melting them down into either a cock ring or a dick piercing and proceeding to fuck women with them.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Wow.
Like, that is absolutely horrible. That is like the worst thing that I've heard. First of all, that's way too expensive for a dick ring.
It doesn't matter. It's the joy of knowing that it was hers. But now it's in her. And if it is actually the dick piercing, I may have peed on it a little bit.
So, your revenge plot involves urine. So, what would you do then if someone asked you in the middle of that, like, that's a really nice dick ring?
It's got a diamond in it.
Thanks, it was my wife's.
It was my ex-wife's, that cheating whore.
Is it followed by crying? I don't know. I don't.
No, it is joy.
Just pure joy. As you stare up into the bowels of Atlantis.
No, you're sailing, but
No.
more off into the distance. That is like maybe 5 feet up above me.
All right, Scott, you have to go next. I'll throw this in right now. I'm not a revenge person. Like, I just exile people from my life. If you're a person that messes with me to the point where I feel like I would get to the point of revenge, I just stop acknowledging your existence. And, you know, it's mainly to save myself from stress. I cannot fathom making my wife's engagement ring and wedding ring into a dick ring so I can go on like a sex escapade
A
of
sexcapade.
revenge. Yes, a sexcapade. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't know how I missed that. So, Scott, I know that you're probably a revenge guy.
Oh, very much so.
Yes, I don't know what told me about it. Maybe it's the high level of stress that's causing you to lose your hair. Please proceed.
Probably. Okay. Does it have to be legal?
I did make that as a qualifier in the beginning.
Yeah,
Well, then all my
so I
revenge
think
plans
that
are out the window.
Oh, okay. So you just had like something with a bag of shovels, something with rope, something with line.
No, actually. Going outside the law, it's actually very simple. And I have already actually told my wife this.
Now, keep in mind that this is being recorded, and anything that you say can and will be used to testify against you if we ever find someone that falls under these categories.
That would be extremely... You would never find them.
Okay, well, note to self, don't piss off Scott.
Yeah.
I'm saying that as a pre-qualifier.
All right, so this is what would happen. I've already, explained this to some people. I wouldn't do anything. I could never do anything to a female. But the guy, especially if he knew,
You would melt down her wedding rings and fuck him in the ass with a cock ring made of her wedding wings.
that would be no.
I totally just said wedding wings too. Go on. I'm done.
I would kidnap him, take him out to the desert somewhere. Actually, probably not the desert. It's probably somewhere up in Flagstaff. A lot of wooded area out there. Find a little shack, tie him up. Then I would put a bullet.
Wheel piggy.
I would put a bullet in each of his ankles, his kneecaps, his elbows, his shoulders, and his hips, where the femur connects to the pelvic bone.
I have no idea what the anatomy looks like outside of I hold my breath to tie my shoes.
Essentially, the joints.
I know that their lungs are somewhere between my knees and my chest.
Essentially, the joints. I would bandage him up so he didn't bleed out. And then I would get a small razor blade and cut him 1,000 times with the small razor blade.
Like, would you count?
Yes, I would count, and I would count out loud.
All I'm picturing
that
right
he
now is Steelers wheel playing in the background. I'm stuck in the middle with you.
I'm just imagining the opening of that. Oh God, what's his name? Guy who played Leonidas. Complete brain fart.
Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler's movie, where he, that's the first thing he does in the movie after he watches his wife and kid getting killed.
Never saw it.
It was a good movie. I can't remember the name of it right now. It's going to...
Law-abiding citizen.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
That was a good one. Like, you just pulled that out. I hated the ending, but the movie itself was glorious.
I'll have to watch it. Funny thing is, I actually do have music playing in the background. It is Moonlight Sonata. So I'm cutting him with the razor blades over and over again,
Oh, God, it goes on.
and it's songs on a loop.
Is this when you fuck him covered in salt?
No, I actually, when I get done, I find a homeless person, and I have the homeless person walk into the shack, and with his nasty dirt and probably crap-filled fingernails, start picking at each of the cuts, and then licking some of them as well.
Okay, first of all, I think your bigger problem is trying to find said homeless person, and 2, homeless people wash their hands too.
Yeah,
No,
I
I'm
mean,
saying
if
I
you-
would find the dirtiest, someone that didn't.
Well, for everyone that's still listening at this point,
You wanted revenge plots, I gave you my biggest.
he said legal.
Yeah.
Why did you
I don't
go-
have a legal one.
Oh man, that is that is dark. Like now, I'm definitely not a revenge person. I will never want revenge put on me. So therefore, I will never put revenge on someone else because of your mind, Scott.
You're welcome. I have made, by me being a dark person, I have made you a better person.
By comparison, I'm still going full renegade in Mass Effect. because it's funny
And it's a video game.
and it's a video game. You're talking about homeless people and razor blade wounds and Beethoven.
Gotta love it.
No, absolutely.
I'm a petty motherfucker, and I think I was creative. You're just like compiling villains from movies.
Psychotic?
Maybe.
Just a little bit.
So if any of us ever go missing, this is going online tonight now because
It's
God
not gonna make it.
Oh, no. Well, in that case, I leave my loving girlfriend my dick ring that I made from everyone else's marriages, soaked with tears. I guess like the biggest revenge thing that I can do is that I saw on ThinkGeek, they sell them every now and then. They're called Annoybots. And what they are is they're these little like 1-inch discs that will chirp a sound every like it's within a time frame of 10 minutes, and it does it at random, and you can do everything from like a little like electronic like beep. The Halloween versions have like people whispering like, "Can you hear me?" and stuff like that. But they're magnetic and they're small, so you can just like put them anywhere that there's metal in a house. Like, I guess that I would just, like, randomly start putting them around someone's house, like, in the vents and, like, under tables and stuff like that. So that way, every time that they go to get breakfast or something like that, sometime in the kitchen, they're going to hear, "Can you hear me?"
How do they keep working?
They have, like, a watch battery that keeps them good for, I think it was, like, 3 to 6 months.
Oh, jeez.
Yes.
Oh, that would be so much fun. I'd put them in people's cars.
That would probably work. Like, I think that they would actually work in the car. Like, they're just like the little, like, 1-inch disc. So pretty much anywhere that you can hide these things, you can just put them there and torture someone until they find it.
Me being me,
You could,
I
oh, God.
would cut open the back of someone's headrest.
Okay. I left off at head, but you put rest. Thank God.
I was trying to speed through headrest so that wouldn't happen. I'd cut open the back somebody's headrest and slip it inside so it's right behind them.
You're gonna kill someone.
Yes, God, I'm very concerned about you. So, any sponsors that want to send Scott some help, you can contact us at cogsupproductions@gmail.com if we ever make this.
I'd like to speak to the psychiatrist.
No. I don't want to deal with you. So, oh man, sorry. My mind's just completely swirling now from the worst reenactment of Reservoir Dogs mixed with Hannibal, mixed with every other horror movie that I've ever seen in my life going on in my mind right now.
See, this is why I had the legal qualifiers.
Yes, next time we stay to the qualifiers, because I am scared shitless now.
I
need to talk about something.
revenge plot. Not for something like that. Something that major, because every relationship I've ever been in, I've been cheated on. Except for with Catherine. She's never cheated on me.
No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I don't want to end up in a shack in Flagstaff. I am jumping topics. Fuck you. You shut your mouth. I am jumping topics.
You put that muzzle mask thing on where you can't talk, okay? There we go.
So, since we have some time left over, I want to talk about horror movies. But, qualifier, we're sticking to the qualifier. I'm looking at you.
All right.
Is the worst horror movie that you've seen, and not in the sense of like, oh my god, that was the worst thing I've ever seen, it's so scary. Like the most cheesy, like unscary kind of horror movie that you've ever seen. I cannot remember the title of the movie, but the one that instantly juts into my brain is there was one where it was like a Woodstock festival outside, and Ronald Reagan was the bad guy. What? It was like zombie Reagan with, I think it was an axe, was going after like the hippies of this pot smoking festival. I have no idea what it is. If you guys out there know it, message us on Facebook, Cogstop Productions. Hit us up on Twitter, Cogstop. Email us at cogstopproductions@gmail.com. Let me know the name of that movie. I cannot remember for the life of me. All I know is that Ronald Reagan is the bad guy and he's killing hippies.
Is it just me, or are a majority of bad movies like that zombie movies?
Like, which bad zombie movies?
Like, no, a majority of those bad horror movies tend to be some form of a zombie movie.
I will go so far as to say something like undead, spirit, that kind. Supernatural
Yeah.
are very bad horror.
On
Can be
that
very
note, I
bad
have
horror
mine.
movies.
Strippers versus zombies.
Oh, that's fucking amazing. The strippers and
No, no, no,
zombies.
no.
Never seen it.
The not the B list one.
Oh, not with Robert Englund?
No,
Oh, okay.
the D list one, and it used to be on Netflix.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am positive. I've seen the one that you're talking about. They have the same title, but it's completely different. It's a bunch of no-name actors, probably in L.A. trying to get work. This didn't help at all. It was zombie masks from Party City, bad.
Oh.
Ketchup blood, bad. Like, they couldn't even afford to go get food coloring and corn syrup, bad.
But was it at least done in the kind of like shtick way? Like, I'm trying to think of a movie that did that. I think it was Thanksgiving. That kind of had that like cheesy factor, and they're like, yeah, we
Watch
know
it.
we're being cheesy, but you know, we're meant to be cheesy. Or was it like someone had made a movie and just had no production value?
I think it was supposed to be serious, and it was just. It was like, come on, Stacy, we're gonna go kill the zombies, yeah.
Oh dear.
But it was supposed to be a horror movie. I wish I could get that hour and a half of my life back.
Now, I'm sorry. You say it's supposed to be a horror movie. I can't think of a horror movie that has strippers in the name of it. I think that was more TNA. Was the TNA from like Party City too?
D-list movie, which means D-list strippers.
So I was on the poll.
So
Yeah.
Tuesday, 2:00 in the afternoon, kind of strippers.
Wednesday.
Ooh.
Oh, so they had like the C-section scar and stuff like that.
They got their C-section in Mexico.
Oh God, Josh, please.
You wanted bad movies.
That's bad. That's absolutely horrible.
Bad for me was watching House of the Dead. When they finally made that game into a movie.
Now, I saw Netflix just recently got House of the Dead 2. Is that the one that you're talking about, or was there an original one?
There's an original one, and they're on the little island and everything, and it's just this college party thing. There just happens to be a graveyard nearby.
That does not sound like the video game.
It's not. That's the point. It was just...
They just had the title of House of the Dead.
Yep, they just had the title. That was just a load of disappointment because I was expecting everything from like them running into the town to deal with it, the little imp with the armor.
Oh God!
You shoot the imp
Screw
to
that
stop
thing
the
so
armor.
much. Screw that thing so much.
But no, it was just college co-eds and zombies. That they should have just renamed it that, and I probably would have been more happy with that movie.
Well, at least it's being direct. Like, that's one of the things we still got plenty of time, is video game movies that don't live up to the video game. Like, I know you can't do the exact plot, but that sounds like one of the examples where they just went like, hey, here's the title of it, and here's where we go.
Oh, so you're talking about the Dragon Ball movie?
Oh God!
Absolutely.
No,
I'm talking about
that doesn't exist. That has never existed. It will never. That movie will never exist.
See,
It is banished to space and time and all of reality ever.
I know of its existence.
I hate you so much.
yeah, see,
I
that,
had actually forgotten about it. I had forgotten.
Yes.
See, I watched it with the school kids when I was a teacher, because I was an awesome teacher, and kids don't care about the quality of things. Like, that's the reason why some of our childhood nostalgia stuff is awesome to us, but it's horrible to anyone that was an adult. Except for Animaniacs, that was amazing.
Always will be.
But
Nurse.
oh man, like, just I wanted it to be good, and I think that's the worst thing that happens with some of these things, where it's a remake or it's a movie inspired by the game or the book or the other things, is that you get your expectation at a certain level, and then it just takes like a hot steaming dump on your expectations.
Oh yeah.
I like this category, but for me, there's a movie for video game series that, in my mind, surpasses the video game, and that is the Super Mario movie.
Oh, okay. Yes. Absolutely.
Sentient fungus was the greatest thing about that movie. Is the king was everywhere.
And I like Dennis Hopper as a bad guy.
Yes.
Speed, I guess, and that's a really cheesy answer for Dennis Hopper being a bad guy. But the Super Mario movie was glorious in a different sense.
Yes.
Like, it's one of those movies that went like in a different direction. And if it didn't have Mario in the title, actually no, it had to have Mario in the title, but like it was just a movie saying like inspired by Mario or Super Mario 2099. Like, that would have been a whole different level of awesome, because that movie was it's like so cheesy. It's got John Leguizamo. It was just gold. It is a hidden gem of, like, in the turd pile, this person shit out a diamond.
Yeah, exactly, because it does all the things wrong people do with movies like that.
So you're saying best of the worst?
I'm not saying best of the worst. It is so bad that it has come full circle to good.
I can't agree with that.
It does all the same things wrong that everyone else does when they translate video games or comic books into movies. They try and explain things, like the super jump. You have fucking rocket boots. I love that. And you can fly around on even just one. The Bomba Bombs aren't actually living. They're just little wind-up toys that explode.
Yeah, and then the Koopa Troopas on that one. I evidently missed it, but evidently one of the days that we were getting food together, a guy with a unproportionally small head walked in front of our car and looked like a Koopa Troopa. I missed it. I cannot testify to this. You two can.
It was hilarious.
I am so upset that I actually missed seeing a Koopa Troopa in life.
My issue was Yoshi. Yoshi was a velociraptor.
He's a baby.
He's a velociraptor.
He's a baby velociraptor.
He didn't even have his tongue.
Kinda. You did a really far away lick, and that's it.
So to get this straight, we were just talking about Dennis Hopper, rocket boots, and Koopa Troopas in trench coats. And your thing is like, but Yoshi wasn't a dinosaur like that. He was a dinosaur like something else with a tongue.
My issue is with that whole movie. I'll watch it every single time that it's on still, and I hate myself for it. It is, I think it is just a bad movie.
Scott, trust the fungus.
No. I will say that it's the best of the worst. It is the best video game adaptation movie I've ever seen.
See,
which is sad.
I want to disagree with you, because first Resident Evil, awesome. And this is coming from a Resident Evil fan. You can see exactly where in the video games it lined up.
See, like I told you before, I wasn't big on Resident Evil until 5 came out, and then I backtracked. So, and I still haven't played 1 or 2. Yeah, I haven't played 1 or 2.
You're still in Raccoon City. Don't worry.
Yeah, they're still zombies. If anything, in the first one, you missed some horrible voice acting.
Yes.
That's the topic for another day. I've got a video game that is just perfect for the world's worst voice acting ever. We are coming up at the hour mark, so I think that this is a great time to sign off. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for giving us the opportunity to make this happen. I know that I want to do good with this. So do the rest of us here, especially for our friend. We are going to make this the best thing that we can, and with your help, we can make it even greater. So I'm Patrick Tracy.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Scott.
And we're signing off with a generic sign-off. Salute. For more episodes, updates, and other projects, check us out at cogstopproductions.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at Cogstop Productions, and follow us on Twitter at cog_stop.